Alright. Well, fiction is the literature in form of prose, especially in short stories and novels describing imaginary events and people. An example would be making up an imaginary friend.
The setting is the place or type of surrounding where something is positioned or where an event takes place. A speed, height, or temperature at which a machine or device can be adjusted to operate. An example of setting would be the Salinas Valley is in Northern California. It is a long, narrow swale between two ranges of mountains, and the Salinas River winds and twists up the center until it falls at last into Monterey Bay.
Alright, so mood is the atmosphere of a piece of a story that's usually described by words or actions. For instance, in a post-apocalyptic world, you could have a mood, they could describe it as rubble, it's broken down, it's dark, it's scary, a lot of death and destruction.
Tone is the attitude directed toward a particular subject or object from the viewpoint of the writer. And an example would be, I want to ask the authorities, what's the big deal? Question mark. Why do not they control the epidemic? Question mark. It is eating up our lives like a monster. Here.
Theme is the subject of a talk, a piece of writing, a person's thoughts, and an exhibition and a topic.
Foreshadowing is a literary device used to hint, predict, or inform the reader of what's to come. An example is the evening was still. Suddenly a cool breeze began to blow and made a windy night. It's foreshadowing a storm.
Symbolism is when a person, place, or thing represents an ideal or quality. For instance, a burning candle can represent someone's life, and when it goes out, they die.
Okay, questions for these guys? Okay, give us an example of fiction that we would all know about.
Mickey Mouse,
Why is Mickey Mouse fiction?
because it's not real.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Do we have another one?
Santa Claus,
He's real though. He is.
like superheroes,
Okay. And why is that fiction?
because someone made them up.
Okay.
But couldn't you consider police officers superheroes?
Not superheroes.
Now listen up. You've said like Mickey Mouse and you said superheroes. So does fiction talk about characters?
Tell them stories.
It's something that you make up in your mind. So,
What is that something?
like, it could be a person or a place.
What do you think, guys?
That's what
Huh?
you're talking about them or everyone?
Everybody.
It can be like a character or like a place, just a fiction.
Well, that's what they said. I don't know if I agree with that.
I would agree with it, saying that like it's something that you can like think about, or like you can visualize.
Okay.
Imagine.
But it's an imaginary what?
Like it could be like a person.
Imaginary what? No, it's what that's not true?
A story.
So is it just a character?
No.
It's a what?
A story.
It's a story, right? It's a made-up imaginary story with probably made-up imaginary characters, okay? So what is nonfiction?
Something that's
A story that's real.
Okay, very good. All right, now setting, you guys gave us this, you guys basically read a piece out of Mice and Men, whether you know that or not. But I don't think anybody really knows what that is. Think of a fictional story now that we all know of, not just Mickey Mouse. Think of a fictional story that we all know of and give us an example of the setting.
Alice in Wonderland.
What is the setting?
The settings in Wonderland. It's a magical place that she goes to.
Good, give us another one. Doesn't have to just be classics, guys. You can think of a movie you've seen. Movies are fiction.
Goonies.
The Goonies? What's the setting of the Goonies?
Like in a underground.
Happy
It's a place in a town in the Midwest.
It's
Happy
kind of, it's
Gilmore.
kind of like at the bar. or
It's
whatever,
set at a golf
like
course.
Underground the bar, there's like
Happy Gilmore. Happy
Not
Gilmore
really
set at a
like
golf
excited
course.
with me.
Caddyshack.
Okay, so hold on, one at a time now. Goonies, we're saying that, the setting, part of the setting is this little underground area. Okay, you guys are saying Happy Gilmore. Okay, part of the setting in that movie is the golf course, right? Okay, so how do we simplify what setting is?
It's a place where the story takes place.
Okay, it's a place where the story takes place and kind of everything about that place. So if it's cold, if it's hot, what it looks like, if there's hills, if there's grass, all right, if it's the golf course, whatever. Okay? Mood. All right? Give us an example of a fictional story that we would all know about and tell us what mood means. What's your definition of mood again?
It's the description of the setting of the place, the feeling of the story.
The feeling of the story. Okay, so give us an example. The classroom's a story? Okay, think of a story, a fictional story, could be a book, could be a movie, and tell us what its mood is.
Harry Potter, it's magical.
Okay? I wouldn't necessarily say magical is a mood, but it could be. When you think of mood in general, if someone says, what kind of mood are you in, what are you going to come back with?
What you feel.
A feeling, right? A feeling?
Yeah.
Okay, so think of a fictional movie and tell us the mood of that, or fictional story.
Willy Wonka, and the mood kind of becomes like wonderful, kind of that incredibleness, childlike
Chocolate.
that you like.
Okay?
Chocolate.
Is mood something, will everybody have the same mood from the same story?
No.
Will most people? Okay, so tell me, mood is when an author creates a story, there is an intended mood. So give me an example of a type of story in which there is an intended type of mood. Can anybody help these guys?
Mickey Mouse is supposed to be happy.
Okay,
playful.
very good. Okay, what other type of story promotes a particular type of mood?
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds, that's such a good movie. I've said that.
Okay, what type of mood does that promote?
It's about her being angry. Most of it is.
Okay, so what mood are you in when you watch it? What mood does it put you in?
Childish.
Well, childish isn't really a feeling.
But like, it like makes you feel like, I don't know. Like,
Makes you feel like a kid. Okay, that's more in line. Okay, there's one just obvious. There's a type of story, type of movie, and it's meant to make you feel a certain way.
Like a dystopia can make you feel kind of dull.
These guys probably don't know what a dystopia is.
So it's a part in the future where not everything's not good. Like Terminator would be a good one. Robots take over the world.
So what type of mood does that put you in?
terrifying mood. kind of
Okay.
scary mood.
Okay? How about any scary movie? What type of mood is that meant to put you in? There you go. Scared, terrified, anxious.
Nervous, fearing for your life.
Okay?
So
Now,
bad you don't know what to do.
okay? Now tone. How is tone and mood related? How are tone and mood related?
They both use feelings.
Okay, you're absolutely correct.
Mood is like the way that the author wants you to feel, and the tone is the way that the characters in the story are feeling what's going on.
Not quite. Take the first definition you gave and give it for the second word. Tone is,
What they want you, what the author wants you to feel.
tone is how the author wants you to feel. Mood is what?
How the characters feel.
No.
How the story affects you.
Who's you?
The reader.
Yes. Okay, so say that again all together. Tone is what?
Tone is how
Tone is what?
like tone is the like feeling that you get.
That's mood. What is tone?
That's like the attitude directed at the people in the boat or movie.
No. You guys have it right, but you're kind of now getting all over the place. You're second guessing yourselves. You don't seem like experts on this now. You got to teach us. Who sets the tone? The author. The author sets the tone. Okay? So, what is tone? That's mood. The author sets the tone, so tone is what?
What the author wants you to feel.
The way the author wants you to feel.
Well, mood's what the whole book feels.
It's the mood that the author wants to put you in. Mood is what? That's tone.
How the effect of the book has
And who's you?
the reader.
Okay, so tone is how the author wants you to feel. Mood is how the audience actually feels. Does that make sense? So tone is set by the author. The author might write with the tone to make you feel a certain way. If he's successful, then the mood will be that same feeling. If he's unsuccessful, it won't be. So, in a scary movie, what is the author's tone? What is it? Okay, he's trying to write to provide a mood that is anxious or scared. If he is successful, then the mood will be what? Scared, anxious. If he's unsuccessful, you ever seen a bad scary movie? One that's really not, that doesn't do what it's supposed to do?
The blob.
Okay? So, in that sense, the audience's mood is not what the author wanted it to be. Your mood might be disappointed or not scared, right? Or funny, right? Or happy. If the author's tone in a scary movie is intended to be scary, but if your mood as part of the audience is happy, was that author successful? No. If the author's tone of a scary story is scary and the audience is scared, the mood is scared, is he successful? Yes. Okay? Theme. Give us an example of a theme from a fictional story, a book, short story, movie that we can all relate with.
well, Space Jam. And in the movie, they found out never stop trying and give up, even if things are bigger than you.
Okay, so a theme of Space Jam would be,
Don't give up no matter what.
good. Can you come up with another one? That to Reggie is the theme of Space Jam, or a theme of Space Jam. Can you come up with another movie, another story that we all know of and give us a theme of it? Again, anybody in here can help. Ted? Okay. Have we all seen Ted?
Yes.
No?
Never seen- I wanna
What's
see it.
Ted?
It's a movie about a bear, little kid,
Okay.
life.
Okay, what's the theme of Ted?
Yeah.
Sex is not a theme.
You sure?
I'm positive. What's the message of it? Sex? No, that doesn't make sense. What's the message of Ted? What about friendship?
Stay together through hard times.
Yeah.
Okay, friends stay together through hard times. That would be a theme.
Being a wingman. Being a
Okay. Symbolism. Give us an example of a symbol in a story that we all know of.
Hotel Transylvania.
In the Bible, a cross and Jesus.
Okay, in the Bible, the cross is symbolic for or represents what?
Jesus.
And what about Jesus?
Is sacrifice.
It's symbolic, the cross is symbolic of Jesus' sacrifice, right? It is, and so what again is our definition of a symbol?
Something that represents the
Another idea.
Okay, it is something like an object, right? Something like that that represents kind of a larger idea. So that cross, that object, represents the larger idea